After I got the old engine off and stripped down, there were some parts that I saw that I needed for the new engine before I could put it on. Some primer lines, the fuel hose, oil pressure hose, a couple other odds and ends. So it's going to take some time to get that stuff. Cleaned up out here a little bit on the engine on the firewall and did a couple other things here. I put the new throttle cable in, a little bit of other stuff. Then I went in and worked in the cockpit in the cabin of the airplane and checked that stuff out, did the inspection in there. Parts are starting to come in now for the engine, so I need to get it ready to hang, get it ready to put on. The shipping weight on that engine is 398 pounds. Well, that's a little bit heavy for me to manhandle anymore. Well, I took the carburetor out of the box, and that weighed maybe a pound or so, and the oil dipstick, and maybe a few ounces on that, so that didn't lighten it up very much. And taking the cover off of the engine, off the shipping crate, that may make about 10 or 15 pounds maybe. So anyway, that still doesn't lighten it up that much. Not enough out for me to manhandle it, like I said. And even if I took it off of the shipping crate there, it's still too much for me to pick up and move around or anything anymore. So trying to figure out a way to get that up here without having to open the door and get the forklift out and pick it up with the forklift and put it on here. So anyway, this is what I come up with. I kind of used a bar and manpower and slid that engine over where it's lined up a little bit better with the front of the airplane here on the nose of the airplane. And then I used a bar to jack up the front end of it. I put some pipes underneath it, and I was rolling around on the pipes a little bit there flat on the floor. And, then I went and found some timbers. I got this slab. This came off of a 20-foot log that I cut up into a timber for the house here last year. And it's just been laying there, so it's about 24 inches on one end and maybe 16 or so on the other. Anyway, I cut two 8-foot chunks out of that. I put a strap around through the pallet on there, and then another strap onto that because my chain hoist doesn't go that far. And so we'll start lifting it up there with the chain hoist. And I was thinking about putting those bars underneath there to roll it on to make it roll a little easier. We'll see whether I need to do that or not. Well, that went pretty good. Now the engine is up there where I can work on it. I can take the straps off of it and stuff and get it out, that pallet out from underneath it. The magnetos here. This way I can get to the oil screen here and put that oil filter on there. And then I've got a plug here I've got to take off here. There is a plug down in here for the oil cooler inlet, or the reverse hose, whatever that is. And that's it. And then it's got a fitting on here for the breather already, so I don't need to fool with that. We got nails. They put that straps in there into that pallet with nails, so I'll have to pry those out. I thought maybe I could take the screw gun and unscrew them, because I'll put them back in with screws, maybe. Yeah, so I've got ports in here I've got to take out for the primer lines. So this will be the number 1, 2, 3, 4 cylinders. And they got plates on the exhaust there to keep anything from getting into the exhaust ports. That's cool. Now there's 4 spark plug leads coming out of each magneto, and you set these up so that one magneto fires the top spark plugs on one side and the bottom spark plugs on the other side, and vice versa. So you'll have 2 spark plug leads come off of this one, go over here to this side bank, and 2 off of here that come over here to this bank, and same in reverse. Alright, well now it's up there where I can get started working on it. Didn't hurt near as much as I was afraid it was going to. I had ideas of doing different things on that. I thought I might need pipes on there to roll that up there with and stuff, but it came right up. So that was good. The only thing heavy that I had to do, there was a little bit of pushing that pallet around and stuff with that engine on it there on the floor. But I used a pry bar underneath it mostly to kind of lift it up and then swing it around. So the heaviest things that I had to move were those two timbers, or those two planks there that I got. Like those probably weigh about 50 pounds a piece. That one might be heavier than that. The other one's probably 50 pounds. Those didn't used to be near as heavy as they are now. Get the boys to move them out of here. Well, if I hang that engine on the airplane, then I can move my chain hoist forward to the door, and then I can pick that other engine up and set it on set the pallet underneath it. I was kind of trying to figure out how I was going to swap those two engines around, but that's what I can do is do that. So hang this engine on the airplane and then move that chain hoist up to the front of the hangar there. I've got some more hangers up there for it. So that's cool.